the low-end to mid-range smartphone market is the most competitive market right now. There are so many good phones that you can get without paying much. This is the Infinix S3, a relatively new budget smartphone that aims to give you a lot without you paying much. But how is the phone? The best thing about the build quality is the display. It's an 18:9 720p panel, however the bezels are pretty tiny. For a budget phone, it's pretty awesome that you can get a phone with tiny bezels, but for there to be small bezels, there had to be some compromises. Mainly in the overall design of the phone. It's understated and simple. The back is completely made of plastic, and plastic can feel great, and it is really durable. The phone does feel solid and comfortable, but there is also a well-crafted premium feeling that is missing from the phone. If I had to pinpoint what is the thing that I dislike the most in this phone, I would say it's the plastic back. It's a small compromise, but I wish there was some metal housing there. Overall, the phone does feel solid with very tactile buttons. A few seconds ago, I talked about the thing that I dislike the most, but on the opposite end of the spectrum, if I had to pinpoint the best thing about the phone, I would say it's the display. The display is about 5.6 inches, and I think it's the perfect size for a phone. It's not so big that it's difficult to hold, and it's not too small that you compromise on the content. It's just right. The quality of the display is also really good. The white balance is great, the colors look very saturated, and because of the size, the 720p panel produces quite decent clarity. I was surprised that the display would be this good. It's great for consuming content, and overall I really like the display. You don't really get a top-notch display with small bezels at this price. And this phone is giving you exactly that, and that's pretty amazing. The camera of the phone is actually pretty good. It's a 13 megapixel sensor on the back and a 20 megapixel sensor in the front. I wasn't expecting a good camera, however the photos it takes in good lighting look pretty darn awesome. In medium to low light you will get some noise and less clarity. The front camera is also pretty decent. I'm not really much into selfies. I took a few from this phone and they looked great. It takes a super high resolution 20 megapixel photo, which is good if you want to crop and adjust later. The camera is one of the highlights in the phone. When you are getting a sub $200 phone, you have to put some expectations in check. The performance is one of them. This phone has a Snapdragon 430 processor with 3GB of RAM and 32GB of storage. For the most part, the performance is good. There isn't much lag in the UI, but you have to remember this is a budget phone. So when you open an extensive app, then it's going to show its shortcomings. For the most part, the performance won't let you down. I played a ton of games without issues. There is also a fingerprint sensor in the back of the phone. It's not the quickest, but it's not really slow either. Overall, the performance of this phone is good. I don't have many complaints, but whenever you are using the phone, you have to remember that this is a budget phone. The battery life of this phone is pretty freaking fantastic. The 720p display plus a 4000 mAh battery is the ultimate combination for awesome battery life. It lasts about 2 days, and you can even push it to 3 days. So the battery is something where there are no compromises in this phone. This is one of those phones where everything is alright. Things that I don't like are the plastic back and the understated design of the phone. But there are many things that I do like in this phone, like the display, the battery and the camera. In the end, I have to say this phone is just great. At this price, you aren't gonna get the best hardware, but what you do get is a pretty solid smartphone that won't cause you a lot of issues.